Los Angeles, California, where the Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Oh, what's up there, friendos? And welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name is Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who's dipped his pants and underwear in chocolate and ate them, and is now jacking his boner off with a cum and poop fondue. That's Jeff Clark.
Hey, what's up?
And beaming to us from the used meth booth at the Quakertown Market, the bearded booger dealer known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo.
So we had a last-minute curveball. We had to push the recording day by a single day, so no biggie. I wonder how many people are just like immediate listeners right when the episode drops.
A lot.
Because I do also feel like if something big happens on the show, it sometimes takes a few days for people to sort of be like, what? Jeff and Shuddy 69'd.
Yeah, what's the last time something big happened on the show?
Yeah, that's what big news have we broken that's taken a couple of days to hit the internet?
I mean, I guess the stunts and stuff, drinking piss and Jeff and the surströmming. I know we tease that it's coming, but I think most of the time it's just one of us will say something really stupid and people are like, oh my fucking God.
It seems that the only time that people want to listen to the episode immediately is when it doesn't post when it's supposed to.
Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with that shit. That's happened a couple of times recently where like I wake up and the episode has just been wiped off of the hosting site.
Like last week I woke up, was having my morning cup of coffee. I'd been up for like 20 minutes and then I get a message. Episode's not posted on Apple, but the Patreon is. And I'm like, well, it's 7 a.m. There's nothing I can do about it, and I am not texting Kevin at 4 a.m. to tell him the episode's not up.
Oh, don't worry. Other people do that for you.
Yeah, I'll get those early messages too, and I just gotta like sit there and wait a few hours.
Yeah, Jeff and I had that conversation like finally at 10:45 a.m. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to say something. Jeff's like, I was waiting till noon. I was like, I've been trying to, but
I don't sleep in
I
that
tell the
late.
listeners
Jesus.
sometimes it's like there is a grumpy period with Kevin that we cannot interrupt.
No, what? Oh, you guys are crazy.
yeah.
You couple of
If
fucking
we
sissies.
text him before 9 a.m., it's got to be an emergency or else.
Yeah, the internet's on fire, Kevin.
I didn't realize
Our
you were going to
podcast
be
is on fire.
I didn't realize you guys were going to be hopping into the fake news this early in the show.
Come on,
Listen,
you know you're not a morning person.
There is 100% an unspoken gentleman's understanding between the three of us that if text conversations are had before 9 a.m., they need to be important.
I guess I missed that memo.
Because there was a period that I would text stupid shit at 9 a.m. my time early on in the life of this show. And you would get very annoyed that I was texting you at 6 a.m. stuff that wasn't important. So Jeff and I have kind of just gone by that rule moving forward,
And
even
yes,
as we have aged.
you did miss the memo because it's been kind of an unspoken thing between me and Shuddy.
Like if Jeff and I... Like, I know Jeff is up early, so if there's something I want to talk about before that 12 p.m. Eastern cutoff that we've imposed, I text Jeff on the side.
Well,
Be like, should we bring this to Kevin once the clock hits 9 a.m. Pacific?
And he texts me really quietly so you won't hear him wake up.
yeah, I mean, listen, Jeff and I, we have our own little unspoken agreement that from noon to 1 p.m. is Shuddy Boy eating dirty diapers out of trash can time. So that's why you never get any updates from us. You see these fucking drama queens? You see the fucking bullshit I have to deal with day to day from these people that masquerade as friends? These fucking dickless cowards.
Dude, you're not a morning person. It's not that dramatic.
And we take your feelings into account and don't want to bother you with nonsense before you've gotten yourself woken up and
fibbers. Fibbers.
Yeah, it's all fun and games. Me and Shuddy having an argument about football, then all of a sudden we don't have a podcast anymore. It's too early.
I literally I don't even know what's being referenced right now. So let's move on. That's
because we have these conversations before you wake up outside of your view, so you don't know when we're arguing about football.
Shh, we're not sleeping. We're not sleeping. It's like playing video games early in the morning. Like, don't wake up, Dad. Shut up. Fucking cheater.
Speaking of video games early in the morning, oh my goodness, this weekend, Carl and I got into the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game on PS5, and holy shit, we played way too much of that game.
What does she like about it so much?
I don't know.
What does she like about you so much?
I don't know that either.
No. I mean, it's just it's a survival game where you're either the clowns or the humans having to survive. Like it's not story driven, so that's the only reason I'm asking.
Well, she kind of likes stuff like that.
If this clown kills me, I'm fucking dumping you.
Like she doesn't want to play, like Final Fantasy or like I don't know. She doesn't want to play any like big open world games because they're too overwhelming and there's too much shit to do. And like every now and then, if I get a new game, she actually it's a little out of character for her, but she does sometimes kind of just want to watch me play video games, which is pretty cool. But so I when I got this game, it's surprisingly intricate for what it is. So it took me like a couple of days of playing it to really figure out all the little intricacies of it. And when she came over this weekend, I was like, hey, do you want to see a match of how that Killer Clowns game goes? And she's like, yeah, do one. So I played a match, and when it ended, I was like ready to turn the PlayStation off, and she was like, play another one. I was like, really?
Uh-huh.
Like, okay. And I just kept playing, and she kept watching, and then it got to the point where she's like, let me see that controller real quick. And then it got to the point where we were trading it back and forth. And it's fucking dope, man. I really like it.
Then it got to the point where she played hooky on yoga and just hung out and played Killer Clowns of Outer Space. What's it called again?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I should have just committed to it.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's the best B movie ever made.
I feel like I haven't seen it since it came out in the early 90s, right?
Once
late 80s.
in
like
my
87,
late
I think.
teens and hated it and have never revisited it.
That might be because it freaked you out, or because you didn't like the story structure.
I wasn't into it. I'm not into crappy horror movies, but maybe that's one since Dom loves it also. Maybe we can we should revisit it for what the fuck did I just watch? Maybe make it a spooky season movie.
I already did
Dom likes crappy horror movies. That's crazy.
If you're on the Patreon, I did do an episode of Kevin's Nerd Hole on it that's going to post. I mean, it's probably up right now if you're listening to this. Man, that was a whole other fucking pain in the ass. My capture card shit out on me. Finally, officially. And I had to order another one, and you know me and tech. It took... I don't even want to get into it. It's going to get my blood pressure all raised again. Let's just say I said a lot of swear words this weekend. But
nice.
Man, that Killer Clowns game is fucking dope. If anybody's on the fence, or if you're a fan of Killer Clowns, you didn't even know the game came out, well worth it. It's kind of creepy because if you're a human, you have to like hide around these maps, and there's like 4 different areas where you can escape, and you need to get different escape items for different ways of escaping the clown invasion, and the matches are like 15 minutes. And if you're playing as a human, you do a lot of like hiding and slinking and like running from bush to bush trying to hide. And sometimes these stupid motherfuckers will just pop out right behind you and shooting you in the ass with a cotton candy gun. But man, it consumed mine and Carl's soul all weekend. Man, Shuddy, I can't believe you don't like that movie. I guess it should
Again, I
surprise me.
saw it very briefly once, well over 20 years ago. More like over 22 years ago. Like, I was in my late teens, so too long ago.
Well, it is on Tubi. Man, I just got they put like a special edition Steelbook 4K. Fucking snag that motherfucker. So wait, when we were doing the Easter egg, Shuddy had to do a catch and kill on a news story that Jeff almost brought up.
This is the second time you made that reference. I don't get that. Catch and kill.
Like when a story's
What are
about
you
to come
saying?
out and somebody buys it and buries it so it doesn't make the headlines.
Huh. I never heard that. That's cool. I'm going to use that.
And
I'm
as a
surprised-
journalist, that's odd.
Yeah. And especially with all your editorial calls, it's very topical. I kind of figured somebody would be ranting
Yeah.
about those.
Oh, I don't really pay attention as much as I probably should. And I wouldn't call myself a journalist. I'm pretty much the gym teacher of journalists.
I was too busy picking lint out of my dick hole when they were talking about that. But the
Pretty much.
Shuddy, so be prepared to pounce on this and do a catch and kill. But do you have anything about Nick Cannon in your news?
I do not know. Nope.
Okay. Did you guys hear the news about Nick Cannon?
Nope.
No.
I mean, is it more baby news?
Did he die?
It's baby adjacent, I suppose.
Okay.
So he insured his balls for $10 million. And I think
Okay.
back in the day, it was big news when J-Lo insured her ass. And I don't know, so like, it got me thinking about these people insuring certain body parts for huge amounts of money. So, starting with the OG, J-Lo insuring her ass.
Well, she's not the OG, but
Well,
like
Who is?
supermodels have been insuring various parts of their body for years and years as far.
well, this was like the
Yes.
big news one. We're like, what? J-Lo insured her butt for $1 million.
Let's see.
Is that in case her ass falls off, or she's in a horrible boating accident and the rotors of the boat chop her ass meat off like a deli slicer? Like, or when J-Lo finally hits the age where her ass droops, does she get that payout? Because
I
J-Lo,
believe so. I did a Google search on what the earliest body part was insured. And there's one here that says Betty Davis insured her waist in the event she ever lost work due to gaining weight.
okay, so that kind of is like if J-Lo's ass ever droops or gets flat, she's going to get a giant payout?
Well, so until reading that, I was going to correct you and say something along the lines like if if her ass was horribly disfigured in an accident, she would get the insurance money. But yeah,
It might be
could
both.
be that if it gets to the point where she can't keep it up anymore and because she is known for her bum.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
That's a big thing. It's no pun intended, but it's one of her biggest assets. And
Definitely part of her brand.
as she gets older, like I remember when they were like, "Can you believe it? J-Lo is 40 and look at her ass." Whoa. And I watched that fucking J-Lo in a mech movie that she did for Netflix, and they definitely make a point to highlight her hiney in tight pants. And I mean, I don't know how old J-Lo is now, but however old she is, she's not
54.
54, and she's not getting that payout yet. But I would also love to be like if she ever tries to cash in on it. Let's say like J-Lo, when she's 70, and she's like, oh no, my ass is horrible, time to cash in. Does she have to have like appraisers come out and like look at her ass and put like one of those monocles in? Yeah, do endurance tests on it. Like, and then a board determines like, all right, you get your $10 million payout. Your ass finally fell off.
Okay, so.
Man, we cover all the hard-hitting topics here on MSPH.
It's not.
All the important stuff.
It's not $1 million.
Her ass?
Correct.
Okay.
It is, hold on, because I think it's significantly more.
I mean, did she pull Nick Cannon? Is it a $10 million ass?
What I'm seeing is it's 28 to 300 million is what it's insured for.
Wait, so how much is like paying like Geico per month? How does it work?
Jeff, you should take advantage of this. You should.
I don't have any assets.
Well, no, you should insure your dick, and then a month later be like, "Oh, look how small it is! I get $1 million now."
What the hell? It shrunk. Clearly, it's usually much bigger.
Oh, what? I think a bird ate part of my dick.
Terrible. It's not a bad idea, though. Heard worse.
I mean, you could get your micro Grundle insured. I mean, honestly, though, so J-Lo got her ass insured. Now Nick Cannon has his fucking balls insured. Could I just, as a joke, can I get my Grundle insured? Be like, hey, if he can get his nuts, she can get her ass. Why can't I get my Grundle? Ah!
Okay.
Jake from State Farm?
You do have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And what are you insuring it from? Like David Beckham has his legs insured for $70 million.
Grundle termites.
And Mariah Carey's legs are insured for $1 billion.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. $1 billion? What is her premium? Like, what is her payout every month?
Grundle termites. It's alarming how quickly you came up with that.
Well, because that was done when she became the Gillette spokeswoman for the Venus razor. So,
oh my goodness, I don't even remember that.
So she was making significantly money off of her legs. So that's why they were insured for that much.
That's fucking crazy. So, So if her legs get wrinkly? Oh, God, what a weird fucking world we live in, huh?
Who do you think is older? Mariah Carey or Jennifer Lopez?
They got to be close.
Mariah.
I think J-Lo.
Shuddy was right.
Damn it!
But it is close. J-Lo Mariah Carey turned 55 March 27th. J-Lo turns 55, excuse me, next month, July 24th.
Man, I hate getting shuddied.
You just got shuddied, motherfucker.
Who do you think was hotter in their prime?
J-Lo.
Agreed.
I've never been able to get a beat on Mariah Carey. She's like a cross. She's like a cross between like a Cabbage Patch doll and the Michael Myers mask. They both seem like they could be unpleasant people to be around. They both have reputations of being difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they are literally divas.
Yeah.
Those videos that have been going around the internet the last few weeks of Ben Affleck closing the door once J-Lo gets in and rolling his eyes and looking defeated pretty much says it all, right? Like,
but so I kind of feel like when they were together the first time, all those pictures were coming out. So it's like, why did you go back? I mean, those pictures came back very quickly of him but you never know. Like, it could be, is it just unfortunate timing? Because
more than likely, it's just a shutterbug there, clipping, and then going through the pictures and being like, "Oh, look at this pose I caught him in."
Yeah, Ben looks miserable here. Use this one.
Wait, I've seen a whole video though of it.
No, that's true. So have I. But who knows what was happening like up until that point? Is he rolling his eyes because he closed the door and turned around and saw the guy with the video camera standing there?
Yeah, or maybe
Yeah.
they just left a restaurant and had a bad experience and were still mad about that or something.
I had a moment where in between scenes I was talking to the first AD on set and someone took a picture, and when I saw it come back, he's talking to me and I'm like this. I'm like, I look like just exhausted, looking up to the ceiling, just like, oh,
So disinterested in what he's saying.
yeah. I look so annoyed, and I'm like, wait a second, I wasn't annoyed with him. What's going on? What an unfortunate picture. I had to be like, hey, that picture's not what it looked like, dude. I promise. So, okay, so let's now talk about Nick Cannon's nuts, because he's clearly become.
You really want to talk about his nuts? So
I mean,
I think
do it.
Mariah Carey's second husband.
could anything be more on brand for MSPH than a celebrity insuring their nuts?
no.
We got to get to the bottom of this, Shuddy boy. Like, we all know that
Like,
in the past
bottom
couple,
of it, how?
by
what people come
talking
here
about
for.
it, you rube. Where did I lose you?
We just gotta get a hold of him somehow.
So
I gotta
$10 million.
Yeah, so we all know that in the past couple years, he's become this new superhero known as Captain Cream Pie. He is just busting nuts in anybody he can get his penis in. And he's even gone on record of being like, yeah, I'm trying to start my own little army. I'm going to cream pie as many different women as often as possible and create as many kids as I can. And I mean, if you fucking love kids and you have a never-ending bank account, I mean, it's got to be hard to remember all those birthdays and be an attentive parent to each of them. You know, it makes it kind of difficult to do one-on-one time if you got that many. But I mean, it's clearly become the most important thing to him is busting nuts. Even to go as far as insuring his old scrote bag. I'm sorry, yam bag. And is this in case his sperm stops working? If he has a zipper accident and chops his nuts off, a la Something About Mary? What is happening?
I'm trying to get to the bottom of it for you, Kevin, as you've requested.
Shuddy, let me ask you a personal question.
The thing that blows
Never mind.
blows my mind reading it. I know all of this, but he's a father of 12 and had 5 children with 5 different women in 2022. Like, what? Like,
Do you think he just has fivesomes all the time and he's just like, ugh, ugh, ugh. Cream pie, cream
it's
pie,
like
cream
spraying
pie.
it from a hose. Like,
Yeah, he nuts into a super soaker and just runs around spraying people with it. Man,
Hey, I love
Jeff
this
does not
that
like
he-
this conversation. Look how bummed he is.
I like this.
No, I'm not bummed. I'm struggling to keep up with you guys in this one.
The LA Times has this thing. It says, Cannon told the Times last year that he never planned to have a big family. Rather, he said he was just a hopeless romantic and a people pleaser.
A people pleaser. He's like, also, I would also like to point out that cream pieing people
Check
feels
out my
good.
vibe.
Yeah. We all came together, so I just was doing what I could for her.
Yeah,
I'm a people pleaser.
man, you're a people creator. So, Shuddy, if the Patreon, let's just say, I don't know, grew 100-fold out of nowhere for some reason, and all of a sudden we have just sick amounts of cash
Like times
flowing in.
100?
Like maybe 1,000.
I mean, 100 though. 100 would put us in the conversation where this would be a possibility.
That's true. We do have
Insuring your nuts.
we do have a
because-
nice chunk of subscribers right now, and if we did times that by 100,
not too inside baseball, but we'd be millionaires every year. Like we'd be
what?
And went on the bus.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
millionaires.
Yes, Kevin. Kevin, how much do we each get a month from Patreon?
Well, we don't have to get
add
into
2
this.
zeros to
No,
it.
add 2 zeros to that. So then it's a
Times
six-figure
it by
number.
12.
Times it by 12. That's over $1 million.
Hold on.
He'll get there.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Hey, could 100 times more people please sign up to the Patreon? That would be sick.
Yeah, do us a favor. Find your 100 closest friends and tell them about this podcast.
and watch them as they sign up to the Puminati Extreme Elite tier, please.
Yeah, next time you're out drinking with your friends and Nick Cannon's nuts come up in conversation, be like, "Oh, do I have the podcast for you?"
Listen, just steal everybody's phone.
Okay, so there you go, Shuddy, 100-fold.
Yeah.
Are you going to insure your beard?
Don't.
Ooh, I could insure my anus because of all the farting.
Well, no. I mean, probably you could, but what would make it worth insuring would be if by losing that, we would lose our ability to make money. People would absolutely at least watch the first YouTube episode of me beardless to see what a fucking goofball I look like.
But on the flip side of that, Shuddy, if Nick Cannon's nuts fell off and he couldn't make any more kids, that would arguably save him money.
I know. I'm saying that for me to do it,
Yeah.
it would have to be like, if I lose this, then I lose income. Like, insuring your balls for $10 million when you already have 12 fucking kids sounds like you're going the wrong way with it and should be getting a vasectomy. I mean, so I don't see that this is ever going to be anything other than
A
something
stunt.
for publicity.
Yeah.
Whereas like J-Lo or Mariah or David Beckham insuring their legs, which they make a significant amount of income on,
Yeah.
at least makes logical sense. I don't know that I necessarily agree with it, but
Well, is Beckham retired?
Yeah.
he's just a model.
So does he now keep making payments on that insurance, or is he just like torn it up and be like, well, I don't play soccer anymore, so I'm sorry, adult men's soccer. So,
Yeah, but he's
like-
still a Calvin Klein thing, I think. So
Well, at that
I'm
point, he
sure
needs
they're
to-
still insured.
He needs to
What is
insure his
David
mug.
Beckham up to?
Probably just fucking being rich.
No, Calvin Klein underwear, Kevin.
Yeah, but they still show his face in those ads. So he should insure his nuts too.
This is the Cone or Inter Miami CF, which is the Miami soccer team for MLS. Man, he's
You
got to be
said a
worth.
bunch of letters that just fucking scrambled Kevin's brain.
Yeah, once I start hearing letters, it's like, all right, let me look through the soundboard real quick.
I wonder how much money he's worth.
A lot of money.
Oh yeah, stupid money.
Yeah, a 450. I actually thought it'd be more.
I mean, those things are always really inaccurate as well.
Yeah, I feel like celebritynetworth.com isn't the best source for that. Parade.com says 514.
That's him and her
Right.
combined.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Damn.
According to the Economic Times, she's only bringing about 70 million of that to the table.
Chump change,
It's
am I
been a
right?
while since it's been a while since Spice Girls had a moment.
Yeah, but can you imagine being in a relationship and you bring 70 million to the table and you're 6 times poorer than your husband?
I cannot imagine that.
No.
It always kind of broke my brain that Tom Brady made less than Giselle. This bitch didn't win a single Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, not as many dudes whack off to Tom Brady.
Fair enough.
Not every dude watches football, but every dude whacks off, Jeff.
You got me there.
Well, that was random. I apologize. And it was
That was
kind
a
of a
fun tangent to go on.
it was kind of a brain question, but could I throw you guys an official random brain question?
Sure. And I have
I
a
love
follow-up
that.
on my last random brain question while we're
Sick.
doing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for today's random brain question.
So I was watching The Running Man the other day, and I started thinking about Arnold's biggest roles as far as muscle size. So he was pretty fucking jacked up in Commando, very, very shredded in Terminator 2. I don't know what his most jackedness would be. It's my guess it's between Terminator 2 and Total Recall. But
I would say the Conan movies,
oh yeah, he was pretty shredded in those too.
because those were his earlier roles when he was still doing Mr. Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call.
Okay, so let's go with that then.
He's pretty swollen eraser too, though.
Fucking Eraser. Jesus Christ, Jeff.
I knew that I'd get a response. I love that fucking movie.
So Arnold in Conan, how long do you think it would take if Arnold stopped exercising, ate whatever the hell he wanted? How long do you think it would take for Arnold to be on the same level as me?
As far as what? Because he'll never be like the same size as you.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
his,
you
all
can
that-
never.
his
All
bones.
that muscle will just turn to fat. So he'll never get down to like your thinness.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I
you
mean, his
your-
arm size
your-
won't shrink. Like I bet you his bones, his skeleton is the size of my actual body. So, but like as far as like I don't know, strength goes.
Like you and him being able to square up arm wrestling and him not rip your arm off.
Yeah, because like I remember when I lost all that weight and I got in shape for the boxing match, and it was my routine was just every day running 5 miles, working out a ton, eating nothing but fucking leaves and nuts. And right when the fight was over, I went straight to the Pink Taco in Vegas, and instead of eating dinner, I got 2 desserts. And like I was like, you know what? I deserve a little bit of time to relax. And I feel like I blinked and my tits came back. Like I had pecs, I had abs, you know, my shoulders were kind of big. I lost all this weight. I got svelte. I fucking turned my head for 2 seconds and I'm fucking flabby again. But I feel like Arnold, like if Arnold got in a car accident and went in a coma, how long would his coma have to be where he would just wake up and be like, where did all of my muscles go?
For someone like him, it would have to probably be a significantly longer amount of time than it was for you.
Oh, I know.
Your muscles were not used to being in that condition.
Yeah.
So they went, as soon as they weren't being worked into that condition, they went back to what they know.
Well, let's treat this conversation like we're weighing ourselves on one of those old-timey scales where you have to move like the little flapperdoodles. Arnold doesn't lift a weight for 2 years. What does he look like?
He'll be saggy for sure.
But he'll probably still look ripped, right? Or am I just fucked up? Like he's ripped to a point that I just can't even fathom. This is what happens when I get lost in thought when I'm sleeping.
So what I think he would end up looking like is Ric Flair.
Ric
Flair's body type.
Today or Ric Flair in general?
I'm I'm gonna.
What are your thoughts on all this, Jeff?
Like what he would look like if he just gave up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Based on just like this, his muscle mass and size, he would just have to be fat, right?
Oh my God.
Because
All right, there's Ric Flair looking like
looks good.
Negan doing a Calvin Klein ad.
But that's kind of what I think he would, Arnold would look like after 2 years. You could tell that he was muscly at one point,
Yeah.
but it's not.
I mean, that Ric Flair right there could still beat me up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I would kill for that body.
that Ric Flair is. I mean, he's still probably working out a little bit. Like he hasn't shut it down completely.
All right, so Arnold
No.
next month is going to turn 77. And I think Stallone is 1 year older than him. And
Ric Flair is 2 years younger.
okay, so on July 6th, Stallone turns 78 in a couple weeks. Which is crazy because they're both still acting and they're both fucking jacked. They're both knocking on 80's doorstep. Or 80's door. I guess you don't knock on steps, right? And they're both fucking shredded beyond belief. So they could probably just take the rest of their lives off and still die muscly.
No, they won't.
They'll just get
Because
flabulated.
you look at older wrestlers and they get like barrel chested but skinny too. I'm trying to think who I am thinking of specifically to give as an example.
That kind of happened with my dad. My dad was fucking ripped at one point. And then when, the pulmonary fibrosis made it really hard for him to exercise, he definitely got very, very barrel-chested towards the end. So I guess that's kind of what happens. I guess I was kind of like...
Was your dad an athlete?
Kind of, yeah. He was
Did he play sports growing up?
Yeah. He played... I mean, the douchiest sport of all. He played lacrosse.
It's not that douchey.
And he also was a swimmer. Because I remember when I was young and he still lived with my grandparents, when I would go stay with him for the weekend, his room had all these swimming trophies all over it. And he was a swimmer too. But my dad was always pretty athletic. Like even when I look at old pictures of us when I was a little kid, like his default state was a little beefy. Like he was just naturally strong. And I don't know why I turned out to be such a fucking pussy.
Well, I mean, you played no sports ever, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of
you
your
didn't really have
ailments
athletic
these days,
hobbies. Skating, I guess.
can be attributed to lack of physical activity.
I mean, okay, so I definitely was an indoor kid growing up, but I didn't play many traditional sports. I was on the basketball team for a little bit, but I was a hyperactive little motherfucker. I never walked. I was running at all points, jumping. I did karate. Remember, I did karate for like 5 years. So I was always throwing kicks and punches.
Swimming is like one of the harder sports you can do from an athletic standpoint. So if he grew up swimming, then it would make sense that he would have an athletic build much more than you. I mean, being hyper, practicing karate in the front yard doesn't really count.
I went to Master Cho's dojo, you shithead.
Did you get a black belt?
No, I made it up to a 2nd degree brown belt. And every time it was like coming up where I was going to take my test to get the black belt, they delayed it and they kept doing it. So I quit out of protest.
Why did they keep delaying it?
They never told me. I would just hear from my mom. She'd be like, "Yeah, I got a call from Master Cho's place and you're not taking your black belt test next week like you thought." they're delaying it by like 2 months, and then 2 months would go by, and they should get the same phone call, and I was like, well, fuck these assholes. I want a black belt. So if they're not going to let me take my black belt test, I quit.
Do you think that maybe there was a possibility that they were never going to let you take the black belt test, and Helen, being Saint Helen, didn't want to break your little heart and just blamed them and not your ineptitude in the dojo?
Ineptitude. I mean, I would do flying karate kicks over fucking 2-3 people crouching down and kick through a board at the end of it. I was a little ninja.
Yeah, but what were you supposed to be doing while you were doing that?
Push-ups.
Sounds like you should have been born with a black belt.
Yeah, like, Kevin, just because you can do that doesn't mean it was appropriate.
I think that was what I had to do to get my second degree, the second little bit of tape on my brown belt. I had to do my flying Liu Kang kick over 2 or 3 people. I had some pretty cool skills. I was chopping it up with those motherfuckers, but yeah, I mean, that was, I forget how many days a week it was, but I did it consistently for 5 years. And I don't know. Basically what I'm saying is you figure for how much of a wuss that I am today, that I probably just spent my entire childhood sitting on the couch playing video games, which I did spend a lot of time doing that, but I also spent a lot of time outside climbing trees, building tree forts, playing laser tag.
It's not what you did as a kid that's the issue. It's where you went after puberty.
Oh, yeah, that was straight to the bottom of a bong.
Yeah, so that's where the issues stem from. Not pre-puberty. It's all, puberty on.
Pre-pubescent.
Okay, let's slide the little weight thingy back a little bit. Arnold doesn't work out for 6 months. Still
He's
got definition.
breaking you in half still. He's still breaking you in half without much effort whatsoever.
But do you think he still has definition?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, what kind of definition
Universe.
are you talking about? Like, are you talking about like he flexes and you see his veins, or are you talking like he flexes
and it looks like you flex,
and you can still see there's muscles?
If that's what you think is that you're showing off there, Shuddy Boy, then sure.
Oh, shut the fuck up!
That little fucking A cup you got hanging off your arm.
Fuck you! Wait till you see it in person, buddy. It's actually impressive.
I'm impressed over Zoom. I can't imagine what it looks like in person.
I'm trying to get a current picture of Arnold without a shirt on, without Googling that, and it's not helping.
Just do it, man. Fuck up your algorithm and Google Arnold Schwarzenegger shirtless. Well,
I mean,
either way, well, yes.
Okay, here's one shirtless. I think after 6 months, the veins would be gone if he wasn't working out.
All right, there is.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Ric Flair. I mean, he's just bigger.
I mean, he is still got lots of veins on his arms. Man, I wonder how old he is in that picture. I mean, it's definitely old Arnold, but how old? Is that like a shrunken Arnold? Look how big that phone is in his hand.
That's an iPad.
I know.
My God, he's got little hands.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, he used to be a monster, huh?
We'll never get to the bottom of that, will we? Yeah, man. Like, he looks uncomfortably ripped.
Dude, I'm looking at a picture of him in pumping iron. He's got a vein bigger than my dick.
And it's in his eyelid.
Well, I mean, that's not that hard.
Come on.
Why would you open yourself up for that one?
Why can't you just let it die? Why do you have to pile on to me?
So I got, remember when I told you guys I went to the doctor recently and got like an update, and asked about all the other shit on me that's falling apart, and she was like, you need a sleep study. So I never got a call from anybody. They were like, we'll call you and let you know if your bitch-ass insurance will help you out with this. And no one ever called. So I was like, you know what? I never planned on doing that anyway. So for the best. I'm glad they forgot or didn't contact me.
Do you guys hear Parker?
No. Oh, I did just hear one bark.
He's Draven's not home tonight while we're recording, and he's impatiently wanting dinner, it sounds like.
Time for Shuddy Vic to come out.
Oh, stop it.
What was I saying? Oh,
Sorry.
The doctor thing. So I got a call from a number that wasn't scam likely, so I answered it because I'm like, oh, maybe this is movie related. And
it turned out to be a scam.
Turned out to be the sleep study people. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, man, I don't want to fucking go to some office and sleep in some weird bed with a two-way mirror and scientists looking at me and shit. And did you guys know that that's not what sleep studies are anymore?
Nope.
Apparently, they're just going to mail me something. And I have to put it on and download an app. And I use it for one night. It sends them all the info. And then they pass it on to my doctor. And I guess my insurance does cover a huge chunk of it. So I was just like, oh, shit. All right. I guess I'll give it a shot and see what's up.
Even your bitch boy insurance?
Yeah.
What a miracle.
I know. Very unexpected. But she was like, you know, I'm flying out to the East Coast tomorrow morning. And she was like, well, get that out to you right away. But if you don't use it within 3 days, we charge you like $400. I'm like, wait, what? What the hell are you guys mailing me? A fucking glass of milk? Why do I have to use it so quickly? And why are you going to take money away from me if I don't use it within the first couple of days? So I was like, wait a second. How about you just send it once I'm back from my trip? So I'm gonna, I guess a couple days after I get back, there's going to be some package waiting for me. I don't know. She got real boring, so I zoned out. But apparently there's going to be some sort of doohickey things that I have to hook up to myself and go to sleep. And it's like, what if I just have a bad night? You're gonna get
I haven't heard that word in a while. Doohickey.
Oh yeah, that's my old man craft shit, I guess. But yeah, I'm going through a sleep study because my fucking doctor is just assuming that I have sleep apnea, which I don't think I do. I know I snore a little bit, but Carl is a really light sleeper, and I was like, do I have sleep apnea? She's like, no, you've never woken me up with your snoring. She's like, you know, sometimes you fall asleep first, and I hear you snore, but it's not anything crazy aggressive or out of the ordinary. It definitely doesn't sound like sleep apnea. But I don't know, man. I'm trying
to alert the authorities.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just get this over with so I can be like, all right, so it's not sleep stuff. What is your next guess on what is wrong with me?
What's the condition that you need help with again, or the ailment?
Oh, because I was trying to see if I should get my ass fingered because I told her that I piss a lot.
Right.
And she was like, well, no, I don't think that's anything to do with your prostate. And I was like, I do usually wake up once or twice a night to go piss. And she's just like, oh, well, then you have sleep apnea. I'm like, are we having two different conversations here? What the fuck is going on?
That's absurd. That's an absurd connection to make.
Yeah. So I don't know what the hell's
going on. It's more
here.
like you're drinking too much liquid right before bed.
Which is probably the case because I do get stoned to help me fall asleep and stay asleep. And then sometimes I wake up with crazy cottonmouth and I have to take a sip of water, or drinking water from all the cottonmouth makes me get up and piss. And I did tell her that. I don't know, man. I think she's just trying to get out of fingering my ass. She's like, that ass is probably a fucking nightmare. I don't want to stick my finger in there.
Oh, I wake up almost every morning like clockwork between 5:30 and 6:30 to go pee.
Oh, but you do have sleep apnea, Shuddy.
It wasn't that. It is not as bad as it used to be because you didn't give me any shit for it while I was out there.
That's true, but I do sleep with a white noise machine now. So that would have probably shielded me from your horrible snoring.
Back in the day, it probably wouldn't have.
That's a good point. I do remember a time where you and I shared a hotel room and I had to sleep in the bathtub.
Ocean City.
Yep. Jesus. So, yeah. Stay tuned for more news on that fucking thread. I'm just glad I don't have to go in and get watched by a scientist. Because I was like, wait a second. That sounds
just
really...
Put one of those doohickeys on you.
Doesn't that sound really expensive to go to a room and sleep with scientists?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would assume they charge you by the hour.
I'd imagine so, yeah. And that's why when they threw it out there, I'm like,
no, you're
sleep
not...
study? Are you fucking crazy?
Listen, the doctors aren't there during your sleep study.
You got to pay someone per hour.
Yeah, but it's just the shitty fucking tech who just has to sit there and make sure all the machines are working. And then you go home the next morning and the doctor comes in all fresh and refreshed and reads the results. Like it's
not like some scientist being like, the subject has farted in his sleep again. Make a note of that, intern.
I got bad news for you. Your sleep study came back and you are gay.
You blew so many dudes in your sleep, it was crazy. We don't know how that happened.
You try to sleepwalk and blow me. It was weird.
Well, I guess we should announce that we are going to be taking next week off. I
didn't even know that.
Yeah,
yes, we did. We talked about this last week.
Yeah,
I thought it was the week after.
Nope.
You got the date wrong. I even put the number dates, and you got them wrong by a week early, and now you're a week late.
I'll get it. I'll get it next week.
Yeah. Oh, guys, where's the Zoom link? But yeah, I'm going to go back to the East Coast, see my family for a little bit, hang out with Shuddy, and we have made plans to go snowboarding in June.
We have committed. It was when I was at the ski shop and picking up all the stuff for you. The one dude, Brian, he's like, "Are you already starting to wax your snowboard in June?" I was like, No, I'm legitimately going snowboarding this week. So that's why I needed more wax from the shop. But yes, I am going to be waxing my snowboard in June. So you are actually, I'm going to, this is borderline insane, but I am going to de-wax the board that you're riding, and I'm going to wax it for you. So you're going to be the only person other than Sharon or I to ride a Shuddy Boy waxed snowboard. Inside.
And why are you doing
June.
This?
Because I love waxing snowboards. And I've been itching. Like, I texted you immediately. Like, the euphoric rush that I got having to put the back seat of my Volkswagen down to slide your snowboard in was fucking ridiculous. Was so insane. It was like, oh my god, we're going snowboard. Like, I've been, like, I see the two I dug my snowboard out. I have it standing up next to yours, and I'm just like I said to you, it's the level of excitement I have for us going to snowboard on an indoor hill at the Meadowlands is like you and I are about to like meet up at JFK and fly off to ski Everest. Like, I'm like, it's an
it's like I keep trying to tell Shuddy, you got to fucking
Yeah.
manage your expectations here. We're going snowboarding in a mall.
Like I'm just excited to get back on the snowboard. Like, I really enjoy it, and I'm just excited to get back on it.
Look, I'm with you, Shuddy. I'm excited too, but it is we peeked through the window. We've gone there and looked at it. It's not anything special. It's a tiny little slope. It's like a bunny hill.
as I was eating my acai bowl before videos,
Oh, we lost your audio.
I should be back now.
Oh, there we go.
And I'm like, yeah, this is not anything impressive, but I'm still super stoked.
I mean, it is definitely a fun story to have in our back pocket. Like, we went snowboarding at the American Dream Mall in June. New Jersey, June snowboarding.
Yeah, my brain cannot wrap around the best way to prepare for it.
Well,
As far as like it's gonna be too fucking hot on Friday to wear hoodies and long pants. So we're rolling in shorts and a t-shirt, and then what do we do with our stuff? And we have to walk through the mall carrying all of our snow gear. Like this is borderline insane.
yeah, it's very silly and stupid, but that's our brand, so we got to lean into it.
Oh, we need to make a lot more content for this trip than we did when we went to American Dream the last time.
I mean, Shuddy, we can even get a whole bunch of runs in on this indoor mountain and then go ride the Ninja Turtle roller coasters. And then we can go play mini golf, and then we can go play laser tag, and then we can go to Toys R Us. This is fucking crazy.
It's Sugar. We can go to It's Sugar also and get some candy.
The 3-story candy store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
With the Oreo cafe on the third floor.
It's going to be a funky adventure for sure. And I do appreciate the hookup of getting some free gear. I appreciate that, Shuddy. You flexing your big fat Shuddy dick.
Shuddy Wang.
Boing. But yeah, this is unexpected. I did not expect to be snowboarding on this visit home, but it's I have a feeling we'll come back with some fun stuff.
And this only spawned out of an offhand comment I made when I was out there because you said that you were coming home, and I was like, "Oh, we should go snowboarding at American Dream," and you're like, "I'm down." And I was like, "Oh, okay, me too. Let's do it." And then now here it is.
I mean, I always have the itch for doing something silly, big or small, random adventures. I just want to I like trying new things. And I mean, we've gone to the American Dream Mall a couple of times, and every time I see it, I'm like, fuck, I want to go try that. I want to see what's up. And
I honestly,
now we're going to do it.
I'm going to be I'm going to be an irresponsible asshole, and I'm not going to wear my helmet. It's not that it doesn't look like I'm going to be in any danger of serious injury.
Well, there are no trees, and it's not like we have to worry about I don't know, hitting our head on a random downed log or rock or something. I don't know. I might still wear mine because if anybody can hurt themselves in an indoor snowboard hill, it's me. But I'm pumped.
Aren't you the better snowboarder of you two?
Yeah. But, you still fall. The last time I went snowboarding, I tried to learn to ride switch. And I think within 2 minutes, my board caught an edge and threw me forward like 3 or 4 times. And each time landing on my knees, I was like, oh, all right, that's enough of that shit. I can snowboard regular. I'll just stick with that. I'm almost 42. I don't need to fucking show off by learning how to snowboard switch. Fuck all that. But
there's nothing really that cool to gain from that.
I think I'm going to my half sister's baby shower. So like my half brother, him and his girlfriend are having a baby. My half sister and her husband are having a baby. Everybody's having babies, so I got to go back east and do baby stuff. I did go
part of adulthood.
I know. I did a
sucks, right?
A random adventure with Carl. Shuddy, are you familiar with Power Trip? the band?
I've heard of them. I haven't listened to them. I mean, I've heard songs of them, but yes, I'm familiar with enough with them to know who they are.
So their singer Riley Gale died during the pandemic, and the one of the members of Power Trip formed this kind of like super group side band called Fugitive. So when that came out, I was like, all right, I got to check this out and see what's up. And it was super fucking thrashy. It sounded very much like Power Trip, and I was like, oh, holy shit, this is the guy that should be the new singer of Power Trip. And then shortly after that, they announced that he was going to be the new singer, and they were going to put out new material and play more shows. So I think they did like one reunion show in Texas, their first show as a new band, and then they played a show in Pomona, and then they just did that big punk festival over the weekend that I'm sure you heard about, Shuddy.
Sublime was there.
Yeah, No Values. So they played that too, and then they had another date on Sunday in Hollywood. I'm like, oh, well, I have to go to that. And I got an extra ticket just in case anybody wanted to go, or worst case scenario, I could just sell it to somebody online who needed a ticket. And when I told Carl about it, she was like, I'll go. I haven't been to a metal show in a minute. And I took her to see the newly reunited Power Trip and got a big response from her. She actually really does. To the point where when the show ended, she went and bought a Power Trip shirt.
That's rad.
I was like, look at you, you little fucking metalhead, you. Because I do know, like, it has slowly grown on her. And I mostly listen to death metal and thrash, so that's what she hears the most of. And I was like, when I first started noticing that it was growing on her a little bit, I was like, I feel like a lot of people get into metal by just like slowly wading into it, and they'll like check out bands that have clean vocals as well as screaming stuff. So like, you know, Killswitch Engage or In Flames or Soilwork. And I played her a lot of that stuff, and she was like, no. This is like Evanescence. Put the death metal back on. And I was like, all right.
I'm training you.
Respect.
Good point.
Yeah, so yeah, she had a fucking blast at Power Trip, and I also got to see Amon Amarth recently. Amon Amarth, Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, and Frozen Soul played the Honda Center. Death metal in an arena.
Well, he's just throwing out so many names. It's going to make it. You're going to know some of these names exist when we play the new game we've come up with.
Oh, I mean, they wouldn't have been used anyway. I'm sure Jeff has heard of Cannibal Corpse. They were in Ace Ventura.
That's right. I actually have heard of Cannibal Corpse. That's fair.
Yeah. I got to see our homie Fonzo there, too.
Long time no see.
Yeah. Haven't seen him in a minute.
Was that random?
No. He knew I was going. We connected. I had floor seats, and he had like general admission, and he had actual seats. So I couldn't go to his area, and he couldn't come to mine. So we just met up in between bands and had a beer. They were selling a Amon Amarth beer. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is awesome. Pretty strong, too.
Did you buy
nice
one?
Little buzz. Oh, fuck yeah, I did. Fuck yeah. Did you guys see any new films in the past week?
I saw the new Netflix film Hitman with Glenn Powell, directed by Richard Linklater. Did I say it?
Richard Linklater? Yeah.
Linklater. You know how I was saying that rom-com that he was in with Sydney Sweeney was it?
Your favorite movie of the year, I believe, is the phrasing you used.
What was the name of that song? Or that movie?
Anyone But You.
Anyone But You. And I was like, it wasn't that good. Kind of cheesy, had its moments. And you remember me talking about this? I think I gave it like 2.5 or two dicks.
I remember that.
That movie made this look like a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, this one is
Or wait,
really splitting people.
This made the rom-com look like a masterpiece.
So you
This
hated
movie
this.
sucked.
You hated
I
this
hated
more.
it.
Gotcha.
It was brutal. It was brutal. And I heard my brother was telling me it's like at a 90+% on Rotten Tomatoes. And my theory is that people just like Glenn Powell and want him to be like a superstar. And that's fair. I like Glenn Powell too. But man, this movie was bad. It was really, really bad. Didn't make fucking any sense. Like none. And
are you talking about
it
like
was just
the whole overarching thing of somebody who moonlights pretending to be a hitman to kind of nab people and stings?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I watched it this weekend too, and I didn't watch any trailers for it. All I saw was the poster, and it's him in like all these different disguises, and I was like, okay, so he goes and kills people, and he dresses up in disguises to get close to them, and then he murders them. And then when the movie started,
cool. That's what I was thinking.
and he was like a dweeb teaching at a college, and I thought he was an awesome dweeb. It was really funny the way he even made his voice a little nerdy like this. And I'm like, all right, Glenn Powell's got some range here. I'm buying him as like an awkward dork.
He was clearly a good-looking, like movie star type dude.
Well,
that just had a bad haircut and glasses.
It was like the She's All That with Rachel. What was it? Rachel Lee Cook.
Rachel Lee Cook.
Yeah, and you're
I think it was far less believable. This was like far less believable.
I mean, She's All That. You're just like, oh, this is supposed to be the girl that gets bullied at school for being an ugly nerd. She's the hottest chick I've ever seen in my life. And then it's just like, okay, she got a makeover. Now she's just the hottest chick I've ever seen in my life that's not wearing glasses. But I do feel you could buy Glenn Powell being a little bit of a wiener more than I could buy Rachel Lee Cook being ugly.
I guess. But if he's wearing a tight shirt, you can tell that he's like jacked and like good looking.
Yeah, I mean, he's fucking shredded. And the fact that he was like trying all these different personalities while pretending to be a hitman and then found like the cool, handsome guy, it's like, well, why wouldn't you just look like that from that point on?
Right. That's what me and Bill were talking about. Like, why, if you could be a cool, good-looking hitman, like you could just pretend to be that guy. Why wouldn't you just be that guy all the time?
Yeah, like if I one day parted my hair differently, and I'm like, wait a second, I'm a 10 now? Why have I been going my 41 years looking like Ellen DeGeneres? I could have been Glenn Powell this whole time. But I was expecting a little bit of a different movie because, again, I didn't know much about it. I just was like, oh, it's a comedy where he's a hitman. And it started way sillier, and then it just kind of got serious when he connects with that woman. And then it's like, all right,
the poor man's Arma de Armas, Ana de Armas.
I kind of thought she looked more like Aiza Gonzalez.
I don't even know who that is. She was hot though.
You'd probably know her if you saw her. She was in Baby Driver. That new Guy
I only
Ritchie
seen that
movie.
movie once, and I liked it. Aniz Gonzalez.
Aiza. I think it's Eiza. But I don't know. I do love Richard Linklater. I fucking love Richard Linklater. He's like the king of coming of age movies.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And a lot of his movies are kind of unconventional, and that's kind of what this ended up being. So I did see people are really, really split on it. Some people just absolutely hate it, and some people are like, yeah, this kicks ass. I didn't.
I feel like if you're one of those people who really liked it, it's like you like Glenn Powell, you like Linklater, and you just don't want to give it a bad review. But I don't know. I'm not bogged down by that kind of shit. I'm with you. Linklater kicks ass, like his movies. Everybody wants some rule. Dazed and Confused is a unquestioned five dicker, and everybody wants them. Might be a five dicker as well. Glenn Powell kicks ass. I like him. I think he's in the midst of a moment, and I think he's really about to blow up. But this movie just was brutal. It really was. The haircut, every time he showed up with that haircut, it was like, dude, are you fucking serious? Like it just looks, I don't know.
When he went back to his dweeby
Ah,
real self?
yeah, and real self. Like the cops weren't believable. Like, come on, Retta and the other nerdy guy she's with. Like, you guys aren't cops. Get the fuck out of
Well,
here.
they're like the
Like,
people in
why
the
could?
van.
Yeah, but the people in the van are almost always cops. Like, if shit goes down and the people in the van have to leave the van to go handle the crime, then they're usually
Well,
like cops
I don't know.
that
I'm
can
not
do
a I'm not a
something.
I'm not a van cop scientist, so I can't confirm or deny.
I'm saying, do they look like fucking cops? Yeah.
No, but if you're
The
doing like
guy,
some
the
undercover intel thing, that might be a good thing to see people getting in a van that don't look like cops. Right?
no, dude, no. You got cop, you got Retta, who was fine on Parks and Rec, and I don't even know the Indian guy's name. It's like a poor man's Dev Patel. Like who was able to beat some ass in Monkey Man. So maybe that's a bad example, but I don't know. There wasn't anything authentic about the movie, and the whole thing just like fucking missed for me.
Yeah.
So I will suck. I won't suck any dicks. I'll jerk someone off. Glenn Powell, I guess. Half a dick.
You'll jerk Glenn Powell off?
Yeah.
See, I didn't hate it.
Or
I
the
enjoyed it.
Indian guy in the van.
Wow.
Wait, you liked it?
Yeah.
Jeez. Is this what you've turned into after
Well, that's kind
making
of
a
our.
film?
That's
You
kind
just
of
can't
no.
you
That's
can't
kind of
trash films?
no. If I don't like a movie, I just won't say anything about it. Then,
Okay.
but I feel like that's kind of always been our things. You're the cranky guy who thinks everything sucks, and I like stuff. Those are our roles.
That's fair. Every now and then I'll really get into a movie, but fair enough. Okay.
They didn't show any fucking football games during this movie. This bullshit. Are you frozen?
I don't know.
Oh no, I'm frozen.
What? Am I frozen?
No, I think
You're
it's
okay
me.
on my end, Kevin.
Nobody's
No.
frozen for me.
Yeah,
Well,
everyone's
I don't
good
know
on
what
my
the
end,
fuck to
but-
think now. This is like a Zoom standoff.
It just would have been way cooler if the guy was just make him an actual hitman, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that significantly changes the entire story, and it was based on like a real thing.
That actually happened? Come on, I don't believe that either.
Dude, they showed all that stuff at the end of the movie when the credits started.
Oh, I think I turned it off like immediately when the movie ended. I didn't see
It
any
even
of
said
that
at
stuff.
the beginning that it's based on a true story.
Yeah, but that's usually horse shit.
They
I
say
actually
at
didn't
the
think
end
what they were doing was possible.
they say at the end what they embellished on.
Yeah, I don't remember
But-
that. So
yeah.
how many Glenn Powell dicks are you sucking?
I was like 3.5.
Oh my God.
Dude, you also
Three and
think
a half.
but
Unbelievable.
you also think that Judgment Day or Judgment Night is a 5-dicker.
Yeah, it happened when the sun went down. Judgment Night, you piece of shit.
So don't be like
better
"Oh!"
movie. Hold on. Better movie, Hitman or Starsky and Hutch?
Oh, Hitman.
Oh man, you like dudes.
So
You're a dude canoodler.
after Jeff's review, I had no interest. I didn't have any interest in watching it. Jeff's review reinforced that I made the right decision. However, you saying it was better than Starsky and Hutch, Kevin, now has me a little bit more interested in seeing it.
I don't know.
Now
I guess
the
you'll have to
worst-
watch it and make up your own mind, Shuddy.
I might have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can talk yourself into it now that it's not football season. You have a lot more free time in your hand, but holy shit, dude, it's going to be a terrible use of 2 hours for you.
I'm not really going to watch it, Jeff.
I mean, I would hope you would, just in the sense that I want someone to break the tie here, even though I know Kevin's a pussy and most people are going to agree with me. But
Well, it has a 3.6 on Letterboxd, so that would prove the majority of people don't agree with you, Jeff.
oh, okay. And it's got like a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes or something, right?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
I'll just Google it and they'll tell me, so I don't have to give shitty ass Rotten Tomatoes a page click. It's at a 97.
Ginger gave it 3.5.
Oh my god, no!
But,
oh my god!
But fucking Blorp, who loved that piece of shit, The Lost City, only gave it 2.5.
There you go. You like Kevin and Ginger's taste on things. Maybe you would like it. I would love to hear your thoughts. 97. I know it's not a score. I know that's just the percentage of the audience or the critics that enjoyed it, but get the fuck out of here, man. That's fucking stupid website.
I did watch another movie based on a recommendation from our friend Bonnie, and she was like, don't watch a trailer, don't read about it, just watch this movie and let me know your thoughts. And I was like, all right. And she was like, she showed it to her boyfriend, and he said it was the most fucked up movie he's ever seen.
And she told you this after the precursor of saying don't look up anything about it?
Yes.
What movie?
It's called The Coffee Table. And I think it might be
I can look it up, right? Since
a Mexican horror movie. So I did what she said. I didn't read anything into it. All I did was watch it. And oh boy. It is the most uncomfortable movie I've probably ever seen. So everything I saw from people like flipping out and praising it after I had watched it was like, I went in completely blind and I recommend everybody do the same thing. And like, when I pulled it up to rent it, you couldn't help but see the blurb, and it said something like, a couple that just have a newborn baby by a coffee table, which drastically changes their life. And I'm like, well, that is vague as fuck. And
that's what I just read.
When the big event happens, I think if I had 1,000,000 years and 1,000,000,000,000 guesses, I never would have guessed what happens that kicks off the events of this movie. If I ruined it for you and told you, I don't know if you would believe me. You'd be like, well, wait, they put that in a movie? And like, it's so extreme and over the top. How did they even go on with the movie after that happens? And I'd be like, you're right. I don't know how. I'm surprised anybody gave it good reviews because it's so fucked up. And it's not necessarily horror. It's like something happens and the guy tries to cover it up through the rest of the movie with just the most cringy things happening. Every word that comes out of everybody else's mouth is like the worst possible thing you could say to this guy after what just happened, but none of them know that it just happened. The only thing I will say is if you are a new parent, do not watch it.
Gotta recommend it to your sister.
Oh, no. There's no way she could handle watching that. But it is, if you want to see a movie that is royally fucked up, and it's not like fucked up things keep happening. It's like one fucked up thing happens, and the rest of the movie is trying to deal with it. So it's not like perpetual violence. It's not like monsters jumping out and scaring people all the time. It is just, it's Scott's Tots times 1,000,000,000,000.
Scott's Tots.
Yeah.
Like just a Michael Scott cringy moment.
Yeah. Like it's
times 1,000,000. I gotta kind of know.
I mean, I can. Do you want me to text you guys? And then people can go off your reactions.
Is there any chance you watch it?
Is it subtitled?
Yes.
Then there's no chance I watch it. You can text us.
Okay.
As long as Jeff isn't going to watch it.
The coffee table? No, I can pass on that.
I mean, honestly, it happens within the first 20 minutes. I think I would have preferred to have known what I was getting into ahead of time.
I think I have an idea.
Because I'm thinking like, okay, do they buy a cursed coffee table that just starts murdering people? And then like this crazy fucking thing happens and I'm like, okay, are more crazy things going to happen? And then like halfway through the movie, I'm like, okay, so this entire movie is just dealing with that one thing. Okay, hold on. I'm texting you guys. Jeff, can you make some silly noises?
I'm trying to think of like, I'm trying to like come up with a guess before I see your text of what could have happened. And you said if you were given a trillion opportunities, you wouldn't have gotten there.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
It's not supernatural at all, right?
No.
Like, does the coffee table come alive?
No.
I think it has. I'm gonna.
Newborn baby, coffee table. I mean, a baby slamming his head into the coffee table and dying wouldn't be the most shocking thing ever.
Okay, I just texted you guys.
Give him a guess. Oh, you're reading?
Well, this was basically me saying like, hey, there's a movie called The Coffee Table. What happens in it? I don't think I ever would have gone there because honestly, I'm surprised that there's a filmmaker that has the balls to put something so shocking into a movie. But the whole thing is just panic-inducing, uncomfortable, horrifying. It is fucking wild. I watched it with Carl.
That sounds like it. From what you said, it's very similar to a show that's on Apple TV.
Really?
Yeah.
There's something out there that's similar to this.
Yes.
Oh my god. Like
I'll tell you guys between shows instead of going silent and texting it to you. I also have to remember the name of it.
I was very high also when we put this movie on, and it just like compounded the uncomfortableness of it, and I was like, oh my god, this is fucked up.
And it was a drama, right?
So it's actually billed as a black comedy.
Did you find yourself laughing ever?
No. There were parts where it was just like, oh! There was a lot of that. And it's like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Oh my god. It's a lot of that. What's up, Shuddy? Sounded like you were saying something.
Well, no, maybe this season is M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong, but he's involved in this show on Apple TV Plus that I'm going to tell you about called Servant.
Oh, yeah, that's his daughter's show, I think. And she just had her feature...
Nepo baby, huh?
She had her feature debut hit theaters this weekend.
Are you going to go see that? You know you are, right? Come on.
I mean, I don't know if I'll see it in the theater, but I'm sure I'll see it eventually. I initially thought it was his wife, and I was calling her M-Wife Shyamalan. But then playing Helldivers with the homies, we're like, oh my god, he married a really young woman. And I'm like, what? And then I Googled it, and it's like, oh, it's his daughter. I don't know.
Some night Shyamalan.
M daughter Shyamalan.
Well, because there's nobody with Shyamalan in Servant. That's why I'm asking if she had a different name.
Well, I don't know. I don't have Apple TV. I don't know anything about Apple. So I think I'm just parroting what I heard somebody else say. Let me see. Well, either way, Who cares? I will say
Ishana Night Shyamalan. Is her name.
Ishana Shyamalan. Yeah. Yeah, and it says she's known for Servant.
Yep, I just saw that. Oh, she's a producer. I was looking in the cast list.
She directed some of it as well, it appears.
I was looking at her as an actress, not behind the camera talent.
Yeah, I think that's her jam. I think she's mostly behind the scenes, like her pops.
Yeah, she's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Like your kids are going to be, Kevin.
Yeah. Those rotten little Nepo baby pieces of shit.
How great is that you're going to be in a position to let your children be Nepo babies?
You know what? I'm going to blind them with acid so they have no choice but to find a different profession.
You're going to Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis them, where you're not going to leave them anything so they have to fend for themselves?
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, they said that their kids aren't getting all their fortune is going to some charity.
Oh, they should leave it to me.
So their kids
so lame.
Learn how to earn for themselves.
If you had two parents that were ultra successful, ultra famous, and ultra rich, and they told you, fuck off, this money is all gone when we die, how would you take it? I think I might be bummed out.
Yeah, it would not go over. It would not go well.
I'd be like, come on,
I hit the fucking temper tantrum.
I hit the genetic lottery here. You're gonna fucking jip me like that? Come on. I think I would be bummed.
Yeah. I'd be crushed, and I wouldn't do that to my kids if I ever.
Yeah, I
was filthy rich. I'd give them all the money. I don't care how fucking spoiled or shitty they were.
I would definitely put effort into them not being shitty. I think I would. As far as money trickling down from me to them for doing nothing, I'd be like, that's going to be limited. Go make something of yourself. Go fucking learn a trade. You want to follow in my footsteps? Go to film school. Start as a PA. Just so they don't turn into entitled assholes that treat people like shit. But I don't think I would just, strand them in my will. Well. So yeah, like I said, taking next week off, but you should join our Patreon. Patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour has the fucking hookup. So much good shit. We just ended the latest season of Queef or No Queef, where myself, Jeff, and Shuddy compete against each other in cases and deals on watching episodes of Deal or No Deal. That's wrapped up, and we are 2 episodes, about to be 3 episodes into this season of Crafter Jeff Shuddy edition. And then, I got, depending on when you're listening to this, it's probably out right now, Nerd Hole episode of me doing the online Killer Clowns game, which was pretty dope, and Shuddy and Dom. What do you guys just do on What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? Miami Connection? You guys curse my name over it?
Yeah. I'm so glad that Dom didn't like that movie as well. But next week we're back with another new episode for The Last Starfighter.
Oh. I've seen The Last Starfighter once, and I remember being a little underwhelmed by it. I know it's like an 80s classic that people love.
So
I was just kind of bored.
I haven't seen it in a while, but as a child, that was my preferred space sci-fi movie to watch.
I mean, it does have an awesome premise. Like, some guy gets nasty at this arcade game, and the arcade game actually is like a recruitment device in disguise to be a pilot.
Yeah. So it was suggested by someone, and as soon as I got wind of it, I was like, well, we're watching it because I love that movie, and we've watched a string of shitty ones, so we need
curious.
A palate cleanse.
I'm curious as to if you guys think it still holds up or not.
So I purchased it on Blu-ray from Amazon.
Oh, all right.
Because
Making a commitment.
it was $4 to rent, or I could get a brand new Blu-ray disc for $6.
Yeah, you made the right call. Look, dude, I am a physical media junkie. I always say opt for the disc. But there you have it. Patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Tons and tons and tons of stuff. And it just keeps growing and growing. And hey.
And tons.
Like we talked about earlier, if we get a huge influx of subscribers over there, I will insure my Grundle. Mark my words. I'm taking out a $1 million insurance package on my Grundle. Because we're the type of people that would have fun with our success. Not like all these fucking boring stiffs buying regular houses and stuff. I'm going to get a house made out of balloons. What do you think about that? That's what I'm doing with my riches.
That's probably the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Well, guess who can't come to my balloon house? You,
If we
Shuddy.
really thought about it and talked about it, maybe we can come up with dumber.
But thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for the support. And you can also check out Jeff's Outkick Bets with Jeff Clark if you need some sports talk, some gambling advice. Didn't you just hit a nice little thing with the ponies?
Yeah, I hit the long shot at the Belmont Stakes, and I hit the trifecta as well. Pretty much peak sports betting. Doesn't get much better than that. And they relocated the Belmont Stakes to Saratoga. So I'm bummed out I wasn't even there, but it is my hometown. I will be in Saratoga this summer. I will spend a day at the track as well.
Oh,
what racetrack were the Belmont Stakes at?
Saratoga.
No, before they moved them to Saratoga.
Oh, Belmont Park.
So why are they still the Belmont Stakes if they're not at Belmont Park?
They're just moving it for renovations.
Oh, okay. It wasn't a permanent move. It was a...
Yeah,
okay.
It's just for, I think this year and next year, actually. But definitely Saratoga this year. So, yeah, man, I think the payout on the trifecta, now I didn't put a big bet on it, not as big as I usually do in the football, but pretty sure the trifecta paid out 450 to 1.
Damn.
So it's pretty fucking sick. And I bet the long shot, right? And I told everyone, don't bet the favorite at Saratoga. Saratoga is called the Graveyard of Champions. Kevin, you've heard of the horse Secretary, right?
Yeah.
Secretary lost at Saratoga. Like, Saratoga has taken down the greatest horses ever.
No shit.
So I knew the favorite wasn't going to come through, even though he did come in third, and I hit that part of the trifecta, obviously. So that was sick. I'm still kind of riding a high on that, but I just did a U.S. Open preview with another guy named Jeff with a G, actually. First time I ever talked to another Jeff with a G, but we discussed the U.S. Open, which is later this week. So check that out.
When you two get married, are you taking his last name?
They're gonna
no way.
They're gonna hyphenate.
It's Jeff Clark Feinberg.
I'm Jeff Clark.
He's Jewish too, so shalom, my brothers.
And now I am also Jewish by marriage.
Jewish by podcast.
L'chaim. Well, check that out. Outkick Bets with Jeff Clark. You can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
Jeff Records.
And at MSPH Podcast and at John Cooper Movie. What else? You can check out my movie deep dive Patreon, patreon.com/movie night with Kevin. Just put out the episode on Demolition Man. And this week, the episode of The Running Man drops. So check that out. And if you want to see this on YouTube, youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. There you go, friends. I think that is all the information you need. So, until next time, something.